Best thing you can ever do is quit your job. Quit your job and back yourself and do something else.
Quit your job.
Listen, don't listen to your teachers. Don't listen to your parents. Most of them don't know what they're talking about. If I was listening to my peers and my people who I looked up, I'd be still in Ireland working some shit job that I hate. Okay? Most people don't know what they're talking about. You have to believe in yourself. And that's where it all starts. It's like,
unless your teacher's Mr Hodge.
Of course, unless your teacher's Mr. Hodge. The key of teacher is actually if he inspires you. Okay, if he inspires you and you look up to him 100%. But most people don't know what they're talking about.
What's happening, people? Welcome back to another episode of Lessons Beyond the Classroom, and we've got a very, very special episode today because I've got one of my best buddies in the world, Mr. Patrick Keating, with me. So, can you give us your name and your story and where you are from?
Hello, beautiful people. My name is Patrick Brendan Michael Keating. I'm from Ireland. I've been traveling the world for the last 15 years studying martial arts. I've been exposed to a lot of plant medicines and living in Peru, living with shamans in the jungle, and I guess the best way to sum it up, I've just been seeking more to life, the spiritual paths. Lived in India studying yoga, lived in Brazil, Thailand studying martial arts, and yeah, just being really on the road, trying to discover more to life. Never really fit in at home with the normal getting a job and getting a mortgage. And I've always just been following this kind of inner compass, which has always led me to beautiful places and great communities where I seem to just discover more of myself along the way. And yeah, I guess I'm a seeker in some way, shape or form, looking for the deeper truths of life. And it's been a serious journey to get to this point. So yeah.
That was a good summary.
Yeah.
So to put it simply, I haven't exactly had the normal 18 to 37, you're 37?
37, yeah.
18 to 37 has not been like the standard live at home, get a job, buy a house.
No, I feel like, I've really been on walkabout for the last 15, 16 years where I've just been traveling the world and a lot of the time by myself, just seeking kind of culture and powerful experiences and spiritual experiences and teachers and people who inspire me, and yeah, nature, a lot of amazing nature and nature spirits too. I've always followed all the signs, and yeah, it hasn't been a straight road. It's been a very windy road, ups and downs, making a lot of crazy decisions back in the day, a lot wilder when I was younger, but now I'm at a stage now where I don't drink, don't do anything I shouldn't be doing, and just trying to keep that moral compass on the right direction, and try to be the best version of myself I could possibly be.
And it's going pretty well.
It's going great, to be honest. It's going really, really well. I feel I'm very happy with my life at the moment, especially now, where I have a beautiful partner, I have great friends who inspire me and look after me and keep me in check when they need to, and a lot of my friends are very inspiring people, and I just try to surround myself. One of the most important things I think you can do on this journey is surround yourself with people who keep you accountable, who look after you, who inspire you and help you grow. And without that, you're never going to be on the right path. So, who you surround yourself with is one of the most important things. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
And this man, as you can see, he's very good at talking. So he's going to make his own YouTube channel soon, and I'm looking forward to when that day comes and you can all subscribe and support.
Yeah, sounds great.
First question. That was a lovely summary, so thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Martial arts, that's maybe the biggest part of your life.
It would be, yeah.
How, and that's also how we met.
Yeah.
And it was a big part of changing the path that I was on to where I am now. So tell us about how you got into it and what it's done for you as a person.
Well, I've always been fighting throughout my life, and I've been in many fights, not something I'm proud of, but it's just a reality. Growing up in Ireland, it's pretty tough. And I've always just enjoyed fighting, really. And I always thought I was a little bit tough until I started martial arts, and then I found out I wasn't tough at all. And I started with Muay Thai, actually. I went and lived in Ibiza for 6 months, and I found out who I was, and I really wanted to do exactly that, travel and be around these amazing people, but I didn't want to be in Ibiza in that party scene. So I said, okay, I want to do exactly that, but in another shape, way and form. And I moved to Thailand, and within 2 weeks had my first fight, and the rest is history.
In 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I didn't even know
2
that.
weeks.
Wow.
I got to Thailand, never fought in my life.
Oh my God.
Had a fight after two weeks. I won the second round
Wow.
against a big German. And from that point on, I was just like, something changed within me, and then that journey, that real 6, 7, 8 months in Thailand, I had a very powerful moment where I was in Pai up in the mountains, and I just found who I was. I just found a piece of myself spiritually, and I knew this was the path I was meant to take. And then from that point on, I was about 21, I just dedicated my life to it and hatched a plan to move to Australia, start jiu-jitsu, and go to Brazil and get my blue belt. And then, it all happened. So that's like 13, 14 years later now, and it's just the gift that keeps giving. It's the best thing in my life. It's the thing that keeps me sharp and keeps me motivated, and it's the backbone of who I am. So I'd go as far as saying it's probably the best thing that's ever happened to me, except for being Irish, of course.
And something that you can never complete either. That's the exciting thing, I think.
Yeah, it's shapeless, it's formless. It's like it's custom to you and who you are, where you're at in your life, and the finish line always moves. Even if you're a white belt starting, you've got this much to learn. Now for me as a brown belt, I have this much to learn. So like it has no finish line, it has no end, and it basically progresses you as a fighter, competitor, teammate, then into teacher, master, grandmaster, it goes on and on and on. And the levels, it's actually holistic too. It teaches up, teaches down, teaches back, teaches forward, and it teaches you exactly who you really are and the parts of yourself that you need to work on. And that's the real beauty. It's the best network system I've ever experienced in my life for growth as a man. And on the mats you see your will, you see your strengths, you see your weaknesses, you see your ego so beautifully. It's right in your face about what you can see and feel on the mats. And it also strips back everything. When two men step on the mats, doesn't matter if you got $1 billion or $1, it's man to man. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, nothing matters. It strips back all those things. It strips back all those things, and then you are equal, just man to man, eye to eye, and that's the most beautiful thing. And it does transcend culture, creed, everything. So it has multiple layers of what it does to you as a person. Yeah.
Good answer.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, next question is, obviously martial arts has been something that has took you to new levels as a person.
Yeah.
But another big part of your life was working as a tradie and living in New Zealand. So I know that in the last year you have sold all your tools and quit your job as a carpenter.
That's right.
Tell us a bit more about that. What's happening?
Well, I've always just done whatever I wanted on my life, and that's been great. And I've traveled the world, and I've saved up and traveled, and I got to a point where I felt maybe a little bit of pressure by society to actually do something. But I guess within myself, I had to complete this thing. So I started my trade when I was 30 years old in New Zealand, and I hated every single second of it. But there was something in me that knew I had to complete this process because it would teach me things about myself, and obviously how to build my own house, which I'm very proud of. But the reality is I always just felt like the best fighter pilot in the world, and I was down cleaning the fucking planes, and I just knew deep in my heart it wasn't what I was meant to do. And physical labor and just the actual surroundings, it's toxic, it's bad for your health. Most of the people that work there aren't happy with the job, and it just was never really my environment or spirit. I didn't thrive there. I wasn't my happiest self, and I was working for myself in New Zealand, and I could make great money if you're trading your time for money, but it just wasn't what I loved to do. And I had to just deconstruct my way of earning money and my reality, and just burn that boat and kill that old version of myself, and just go into this new version of myself, and step into, I guess, coaching and mentorship and sales. And the reality is I just backed myself and just start at the start again. It's just like being a white belt again, and you just gotta work towards getting that black belt and become the person on the way. So carpentry is an amazing skill. Jesus was a carpenter. So it's a wonderful skill. It's a great thing to have in your back pocket anytime you need to build something. And I'm grateful for that part of the journey, but it's done and dusted. Yeah. I
think it's a really powerful thing that reminding people that you're 30, are you 37 or 38? Sorry.
37, yeah.
37, that even though you said you only started carpentry when you were 30,
yeah.
So you learned that quite late technically.
Late, definitely
as
late.
People would say.
Yeah.
You've done it for 7 years, you've made your money, you've got an amazing skill, but then you've jumped it off and then just gone again, and people don't realise that you are allowed to literally do whatever you want. People think you choose a career and that's it.
Yeah. Well, you have to recreate yourself every 7 years. I mean, I think the body and every cell in your whole body changes after every 7 years. But the reality is it gets harder and harder as you get older. But I believe that's actually the fountain of youth. If you're willing to start at the start, be a beginner and learn, which is difficult, you know, even 30 years old, starting a trade, starting at the bottom, being an apprentice. That's hard on the ego, hard on the body, and hard on the mind, because if you're a man who probably thinks he knows more than he does.
A lot of people probably wouldn't even do that.
No,
Say, I'm not going to be an apprentice when I'm 30.
Yeah. It's not. But I always look at the bigger picture, and that's the whole goal, you know. It's like, would I like to build my own house? Can I build my own house? What type of man, like, if I'm a man who can fight, who can play an instrument, who can, you know, be a caring father or a caring lover, build his own house, you know, there's a few elements there of what it is to be a real man that I just needed to fulfill one of myself. And I mean, recreating yourself is one of the hardest and most rewarding things you can ever do, I believe. And as you get older, I think the more you do that, the more you start from the start, the more life it gives. So yeah.
Nice. Okay, so we touched on it a little bit before, saying that most people, like the life that you've discussed, saying about living in Brazil, you've, you know, gone and trained in the favelas, you've done all sorts of crazy stuff. A lot of people would probably not deem that as like a normal life, not the conventional path. So what would you say are the main pillars in your life? What are your main priorities?
I think number one is freedom. You know, I'm a free spirit. I don't feel like I've ever followed. I've always just walked my own path, and there's something to that, you know, like you find a piece of yourself in the favelas in Brazil, you know, you see mad shit, it opens your mind. And I think honestly being from Ireland, because you see so much mad shit there too, it prepares you for the world. So definitely freedom would be one. Health is such a priority. Touching on, you know, just the carpentry, like it's just terrible for your health. Like I think health is one of the most important, if not the most important thing in your life. If your body feels good, if your mind feels good, if you feel healthy, if you feel strong, flexible, if you cleanse your body, cleansing your body is huge. Cleansing your body of parasites, cleansing your body of toxins, fasting, meditating. This is the fucking real sky in life. And any man that isn't practicing these sort of things, I find later in life it will actually really start to affect them. So health would be just a massive one for me. And I also love passion and inspiration. I love being inspired. I find like it's a real blessing to meet someone or come across someone who really inspires you and guides you or gives you even just a little bit of wisdom that you're looking for in your life. I cherish those moments and try to inspire as much as I can as well. And also generosity. Generosity is a big one these days. I want to be as generous as I can. I just can't explain it. Like I feel like just random acts of kindness and just giving my time, giving money or like helping someone out, anything like that. I just want to move towards that in my life. That's like, I was even just thinking about it today, like how can I build my brand and my life just around doing good deeds and being generous? I just can't get enough of doing something nice for people, you know, and even people that don't know us. I think that's a real big pillar for me at the moment, and I like that philanthropy. And yeah, I just dream one day just being such a good doer and philanthropist, and yeah, just helping as many people as I possibly can. Yeah.
Do you feel like that's all the work that you're doing to be a better person and 100%. To make money, that's what it's leading 100%. Towards?
I feel like one day, you know, when I achieve my goals in business and financially, I'm just going to give it all back, you know, somehow. And I believe that's a big thing of creating wealth. When it comes deep from the heart, it manifests better, and like the universe is on your side when you know you have a good cause. When you want to build something that's going to help people or inspire people or help people in their lives, or a place where young men can come and develop their skills, develop their arts, and be surrounded by people who aren't drinking, who aren't taking drugs, and they find their tribe early. Just the level of growth they can hit is insane. So that is 100% why I'm amassing my success. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, what would your tips be to anyone who's maybe in a rut, maybe stuck in a job they hate, maybe stuck in the matrix where they just, you know, going and watching the football is their big weekend, drinking, waking up with a headache on Monday morning? What would you say to them to get out of it?
I'd say the first thing is to actually honor the experience you're having, right? So you could be in the middle of a fucking mental breakdown, mate, and it's the hardest time of your life. But in the universe and how this world works is there's always an equal to the experience. So when you're in your deepest, your lowest, this is actually the time of transformation, and you always need to know that this will pass. And what comes after that, if you manage to capture the moment and survive it and live through it truly and honor it and understand that this is a really hard time in your life, if you just believe and have trust that it's happening for a reason, for your bigger cause or for your bigger growth, when you hit that moment, it's so obvious, and the insights that can come in life through honoring the darkness and honoring the hard bits, whether it's losing a friend or being losing a relationship, or just not fulfilling your full potential, whatever it is, or addiction, whatever it is. Okay, we've all been through. Everyone has a story, I just think honoring and understanding that's a piece of the magic. The actual suffering is a piece of the growth. That's when you're doing the growth, and yeah, it's something you need to understand about life. To anyone stuck in the rut or in the matrix, brother, you have to fucking kill that version of yourself. That version of yourself who isn't stepping up. The version of yourself who doesn't have the courage. The version of yourself who hates himself and hates his mates and sitting around sniffing in fucking kitchens, drinking booze, and just living the shit life that they don't want to live. It's like the reality is you have to end that person. You have to cut the cycles. You have to lose the friends. You have to walk the path alone, and you have to develop yourself as a person and go and find a new version of yourself, because the reality is it's so easy to get stuck in those rits and believe that's the only thing you have in life, where, honest to God, the best advice I can give you is go travel by yourself. Go and book a flight, go to Thailand, do some training, go somewhere, go on an adventure, go to great nature around the world and discover a piece of yourself that just can't be found in your hometown. And I just preach the book of traveling the world, because I believe that's how you find yourself. You when you step out and travel, you attract in the next people who you're becoming like, or friends that you inspire you. And there's something about that staying in those all cycles. Quit your fucking job. Best thing you can ever do is quit your job. Quit your job and back yourself and do something else.
Quit your job. Quit your job.
Listen, don't listen to your teachers. Don't listen to your fucking parents. Most of them don't know what they're talking about. If I was listening to my peers and my people who I looked up, I'd be still in Ireland working some shit job that I hate. Okay? Most people don't know what they're talking about. You have to believe in yourself. And that's where it all starts. It's like,
unless your teacher's Mr Hodge.
Of course, unless your teacher's Mr. Hodge. Or the key of teacher is actually if he inspires you. Okay, yeah. If he inspires you and you look up to him 100%. But most people don't know what they're talking about. They're telling you to get a mortgage. They're telling you to do some shit job and they just want you to conform to do what they're doing. So the reality is most people just haven't tasted the sweetness of the life that you can live, where you're truly being your authentic self. You're surrounded by people who smile when they see you coming, and people who inspire you. It's very easy just to keep doing the same repeat week and week over, going to work, going to the pub, all that bullshit just doesn't serve. And it's very hard to see life outside that, but life gets way better when you just start making big changes like that. Although you might not know how to have fun without alcohol.
The way I describe it is, when I've talked about this, is when you're in your hometown and you're in that rut, you've got your blinkers on and you can't see past this little. Your vision is blocked, but the second you get on a plane, people don't understand, like especially on your own as well. Yeah. The blinkers are off. Next minute you've got like 360 vision, exactly, and then it's just like once you see that side of things, then you physically can't go back. Yeah. That's why you see so many people say like, just been to Thailand and I've just landed home and I'm already booking my flight back. And not just Thailand, anywhere you can have that experience, going and living somewhere, moving to Spain for a few months, going and doing Camp America was it for me. Yeah. But once you get a taste of what's there and you realise there's so much more out there, you can't go back to like working in that office. No. It's just... You
change your reality and your paradigm. Yeah. And I really love that analogy you use, because your eyes do open and you see life a different way, and that's the beauty of travelling. Like, experiencing culture changes you spiritually. Experiencing vast nature or beautiful communities, it changes your perception of what life should be like, and that's the magic, isn't it?
Just one conversation can be all it takes.
One word.
One person, one word. One experience, or one hike that you went on, like Jack last week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, last question, or second to last question. Okay. This is a bit of a more fun, light-hearted one. What's the coolest place you've ever travelled to, and what's your best story or moment? And does it mean a lot? Let's keep it PG.
Do you know what? I'm going to say the best place I've ever travelled to is New Zealand, because
me too.
I changed so dramatically there, and it really held me like a nest, where I stopped drinking. I found my true self. I let go of all patterns. Like, it just all happened there, and I believe the land itself helped nourish that piece of me, where I just made big changes and decided who I wanted to be. And I said no to everything that isn't that. And it just transformed me time and time again. So I'm going to say New Zealand. And
Best moments or story?
best moments, I think I'm going to revert back to the first time in Thailand. And it was my last day in Thailand after finding martial arts, and I was in Pioneers Mountains, and I knew I had to go out into this mountain range to find something. It was in my very last moment, and I just went out for sunrise, and after just training martial arts, having a fight in Thailand and finding this piece of myself, I just had a very spiritual moment of insight and understanding who I really was, and I found something.
Do you have like an aha moment?
It was more than that. It was
more than that?
I was bawling, crying and laughing, and like this, I'll tell you the full truth, the spirit of my granddad came to me, and my granddad died the year before, and I hadn't cried, and it was this moment where I discovered a piece of who I was. I discovered Thailand and all its beauty. My granddad, his spirit came to me, and just I felt the presence of that. I also found a mushroom with a stone grew on top of it. It was literally up straight, and there was a stone on top of it, So all these magical moments just combined to heal me or something like that. And it was like the sun was rising, and there was flocks of white birds, and there was
the perfect moment ever.
It was a life changing moment, and it happened in a very spiritual, powerful place. And I think just finding that piece of yourself, that growth, you knew that growth was coming, and I just began the journey was very special.
Nice.
Yeah.
People who are on the journey and understand that there's more. When you say I found myself, or you talk about that, they understand that. But like people who are very closed-minded, like Stews, when they go, they'll take the mick out and go, I found myself. But it's a real thing. Like,
I mean, listen, you don't know until you know.
Exactly.
And like, either you can't experience things with a closed mind. Okay, it's called being hermetically sealed. Okay, you can't experience the bigger picture without not believing in it. You can never fulfill your dreams without not believing in it. You can never understand the deeper meanings of life without, although you can't see it and maybe you haven't experienced it. If you're always closed off for that, you will always stay there and never experience it. But if you open up to it, the spiritual realms, the higher knowledge,
not believing everything you see.
Well, there's more to life than meets the eye.
Exactly.
That's what happened. That happened to me in Thailand when I was 18. It was the same thing. It was a moment where I was actually sitting on this island at 18 years old, and I walked out on the sandbank, and it was after a beautiful night partying in Hadrin, and I was sitting there, and some little old lady joined me, and I was just staring out to Koh Samui, and then a school of flying fish flew out of the sea, and literally like this flock of flying fish flew for like a couple of 100 meters, and that was a moment where I was like, I live in a world where fish fly and birds swim, so like it changes your perception of life. And that was a moment where I actually said to myself, it's like, there's more to life than meets the eye. Fish can fly, like it was like a beautiful moment, and that's another gift from Thailand too. So
nice.
Yeah, really magical, really, really good. And I'm just blessed and feel very grateful to be here with you now, sharing this moment after such an amazing journey. And I love you so much, bro, and I'm very proud of you.
I love you too.
And tune in for Where's Hodge, because he's the man. He's going places in life.
So the last question.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, actually, you just answered this really.
Yeah.
What about your most powerful? So I asked, what was your best moment?
Yeah.
And then I've asked, what was your most powerful moments, or where your life changed? You've just answered that really, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm satisfied.
Okay, cool.
So to wrap up, how does anyone watching who wants to get inspired find you on social
Patrick
media?
Keating 33 on Instagram. Follow along for the journey, and hopefully we can inspire you.
Cool. Anything else? What would your message be for the world to round off? If you've got 60 seconds on live mic in front of the White House on national TV, what are you going to say?
I would say, if I really wanted to say what I say, I don't think you could use it, but...
what would you say to the Where's Hodge fans? A better question.
Okay, what I would say to the Where's Hodge fans is, don't listen to your parents, don't listen in school, eat all your vegetables, study and train martial arts, and travel the world, and trust me, everything's going to be okay. Don't go after a job, because life isn't about having a job. Don't go after and follow what everyone else is doing, because most people don't know what they're doing. And follow your dreams, because the magic is real. And the more you discover your hidden treasure within, the more authentic and true you'll be in life. So God bless, and I'm sure I'll see you along the journey.
Beautiful. My advice to round off would be that you might have to go through a phase of working in a job. We've both done it. We're not saying that you can't, go and get a job, because we've all got to start somewhere. I've worked in Morrison's, I've worked in the Chippy, I've done my graft, I've worked as a teacher. But do whatever you need to do to get the funding to quit your job and just get that time, whether it's 6 months, 3 months, even 1 month. Go and travel, go solo somewhere before you get a relationship, before you settle down, before you buy a house, because guarantee you probably don't even know what it is that you want, and you don't even know what it is that you're looking for, but it'll find you.
Yeah.
Sky.
Thanks
for watching.
God bless.
Have a boss day.
Thanks so much for joining us for this episode. If you enjoyed this content, please don't forget to support us by leaving a positive review, and I look forward to seeing you next time.